Heron Corn Mill stands on the banks of the River Beela in Beetham, Cumbria. For more than 900 years, mankind has used the technology of the times to harness the power of the water as it cascades over the natural limestone weir. The use of technology and its location are key to its success.
What makes it an ideal place for a water mill is a natural fault line that runs through the limestone bedrock under the river, and it's created a 3-metre high natural limestone weir. The natural limestone weir gives us a fantastic 3-metre high head of water that enables us to power the water wheel and all the traditional machinery inside the water mill. This mill was built on the foundations of the earlier mill here. This mill being a lot bigger and encompassing a wooden breast-shot water wheel, powering 4 pairs of millstones, probably through peg and lantern gearing. The millstones were quite unique countrywide because they were placed on top of a oak lauder frame, and that's unique to the area, but nationally it's pretty rare. We get our water power from the top of the weir down a wooden launder, which is a wooden trough with a sluice gate at the end. When we lift this sluice gate, the water rushes down the trough and into the water mill. We lift another sluice gate up inside the water mill, and that lets the water through and fall into the buckets of the breast-shot water wheel. The water wheel is made up of 40 metal buckets, and as the water falls into the buckets, it's the weight of the water that turns the water wheel around that then powers the mill through its gears. The water wheel produces about 6 kilowatts of power. That would have been enough to power 2 pairs of millstones doing fine grinding. During the 1920s, a smaller water wheel was installed on the outside. It utilised excess water to drive an electrical generator in the 1920s, and this was the first time we had electrical lighting on site.
The ancient machinery requires constant maintenance. In 2014, the Trust completely renovated the large and small water wheel, and both can be seen in full working order today. Whilst the Trust continues to preserve the traditional form of power production at the mill, it has also introduced new technology.
Over the last 270 years, the mill has solely used water power as its source of energy. In 2010, we installed a modern vertical Kaplan turbine into the weir, and this now generates the electricity used on site. The vertical double regulated Kaplan turbine now generates the electricity we used on site, and we also have excess energy that we sell to the neighbouring paper factory, and that provides a core income for the corn mill. We aim to make about £80,000 worth of income a year from the electricity generated by the turbine. It can generate anything between 1 kilowatt an hour and 100 kilowatts an hour depending on the level of the water in the river. This means it's very versatile, so we can take in a wide range of weather conditions and generate for about 80% of the year. To operate the turbine, a sluice gate in the weir raises, and that enables the forebay to fill with water. This water then passes through a trash rack that stops the debris from entering the turbine itself. It fills a room up full of water where the turbine is installed. On the end of the turbine is a propeller that we call the runner blade. As we open the guide vanes up, it increases the amount of water through the turbine, and this water then hits the propellers of the runner blade and turns the vertical shaft. Once the generator is turning at speed, we make connection with the electrical source, and then we start generating electricity. We use a touch panel screen that controls a computer that operates the hydraulic lifts and rams inside the turbine house. This will alter the pitch of the runner blades and also the level of the guide vanes. This enables us to match the flow of water through the turbine to that in the river. We also have a level sensor on the river that enables us to monitor the river level, so when the level rises we're able to open up the flow of water and create more electricity. It also safeguards the river level so we don't run the river dry. One of our responsibilities of having the turbine in the river is also protecting the environment. We have a smolt screen that is installed in the springtime and the autumn time to stop the fish being able to pass through the turbine. As well as keeping the fish out, the smolt screen also keeps out a lot of debris, especially in flood conditions. With this restricting the output of the turbine, it means we have to have a lot more maintenance and cleaning of these screens to keep the flow through the turbine. In the lower part of the river, to stop fish being attracted to the outlet of water from the turbine, we have an electro-fish screen installed. This gives a small pulse of electricity through the water and will repel the fish. The fish will then come back and find the fish pass.
Over the centuries, technology at the mill has changed, but its purpose remains constant. To harness the power that nature provides as the River Beela passes alongside.